Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sigh. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sigh. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest. And shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights. As long as
Hello, bonjour, sanbonani. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Rise to Great. Oh my goodness, the Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Dr. Riel Nkunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're joining us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, oh my goodness, it's all about diplomacy and protocol. So please just post all of your questions that you have regarding around diplomacy and protocol. And you know what? We're going to be able to answer all of them. I am not too sure if Mutil, can you hear me? I don't see you here. I don't see your video here. If you can please turn on your video and please introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Hello, good day. Can you see me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Tichani Mutio Olawale, Senior Protocol Officer in an international organization, African Reinsurance Corporation, and a group web editor here in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you very much. I'm a protocol professional, fluent in French, Portuguese, and then, of course, English and Yoruba language. Travel far and wide. Kudos to the level of protocol skills I have and my bilingualism have helped me a lot in my career so far. So today, I will be talking about what I've got. Can I? Okay. So I'll be giving you information on today while we are talking about Diplomacy and Protocol Summit. I will be talking, my keynote will be on accelerating corporate ethics through protocol management. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow, it's such a great honor to have you, Mutio. And yes, being a multilingual person, I believe I can take you to greater heights. It's such a great honor to have you, my brother. Thank you so much for showing up. You can go ahead, Feisola, and okay, he's still connecting. Anyways, you know, when you speak of diplomacy and protocol, you may be asking yourself, why diplomacy today? Why diplomacy and protocol today? Why now? You know, diplomacy and protocol, it scrutinizes the manners of global relations. So if you can be honest, it scrutinizes the manners of global relations using the ability and the discretion in dealing with others on an international scope. So it is indispensable in today's universal economy because, you know, being conscious of your own societal etiquettes and the practice of upright conduct on a daily basis, it will enable you to be more effective in almost all business activities and social situations. So it's high time we share our knowledge with the world so that they know when we speak of diplomacy and protocol, what is it? So in today's Diplomacy and Protocol Summit, we'll cover vital basics of practices that simplify international communications. And we will try to give as much as we can practical insights that will expand your efficiency around that area in a wide variety of settings. So please stay tuned, good people. If you're watching us online, please drop those questions and we're going to come back and attend to your questions. So Mutio, I do have a question. Oh, Feisola is already on. So you can go ahead, Feisola, and please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here. My name is Feisola Adetunji. I'm an international business diplomatic protocol consultant. And I'm so excited to be here, to be part of this summit this morning. I will be discussing issues related to diplomacy and protocol, just like the presenter said. Thank you so much.
Wow, it's such a great honor to have you, Feisola, and I'm looking forward to hear more of your message. Thank you for showing up. So, Mutio, am I not butchering your first name? Do you go by Mutio? Yeah, it's Mutio, right?
Yes, please. Yes, that's it. Thank you, Dr.
Okay, I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see your billboard coming down there in the busy highway in Nigeria. What will your billboard say?
It is just simple. It will be reading, be kind, be kind, be kind. That's what the billboard would read. Reason being that, you know, I realized that in this world that we live in, everything is tied to who you are. Okay, if you are kind, it is when you are kind that you get to understand your partner. Is when you are kind, you tend to understand your colleague. What we call emotional intelligence. It's because at some point I realized at some point you have the power to do something that even the other party would not have the capacity to stop you, but it's your kindness that would let you do something that is right. Okay, something when we talk about being ethical, which is one of the topic, part of the topic I'll be speaking about today. You have to be kind to be ethical. So if there is a big board, what you will see there is be kind. Be kind to your colleague, be kind to everyone, and the world will be a better place. Thank you very much.
You know, I love it. I love it because so many times we've heard this kindness changes everything. Just be kind to whomsoever you come across, because you really don't know whatsoever that person is just going through. So kindness, it really changes everything. I love your billboard. How about you, Feisola? Maybe your billboard is already down there in Washington, D.C. I don't know. What will your billboard say?
Oh, thank you, Doctor. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. My billboard definitely will say, build bridges, embrace diversity. Looking at what we have nowadays, looking at differences in our midst, we come from diverse backgrounds, and then it's very important that we all come together to realize that we have to connect. And how do we connect? It's very important. It's very imperative for the world to come together, regardless of our differences, our skin colors and all that. And this has been what we've been advocating for. So for my billboard, I'm going to have build bridges, embrace diversity. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. I love it. Build those bridges. Bridges, they always connect. They connect different individuals from different backgrounds. They connect different races. They connect different religions. I love that. I love that. Build bridges to connect diversity. I love it. I love it. Wow. Wow. I love both billboards, by the way. And so I believe my billboard will be the third billboard driving down the highway, and it's going to say what? The sky is no longer the limit, but now the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. And it's definitely coming. It's definitely coming. So good people, we're going to get started. We have Mutiu Olawade Tijani. Mutiu Olawade Tijani is a professional multi-skilled linguistic, fluent in French, Portuguese, English, and Yoruba languages. He's a dynamic IT-oriented communication as well as a social media expert with outstanding skills in professional language translations, as well as, he's also a multilingual conference planning and management, as well as website management. So he is focused, result-oriented, and a team player. Mutiu is an award winner of the 2015 Africa RES Employee of the Year first runner-up. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Mutiu Olawale Tijani.
Thank you very, very much for this great introduction. Thank you very, very.
You're welcome. The stage is yours, so you're muted.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Can I share my screen? I have just little something.
All right, let me just see if yeah, now you can go ahead and share your screen.
Let me know when you're able to see.
Yeah, it's still loading. There you go.
Okay. Can you see my screen already now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you very much. Just like I've said earlier, I will be talking about accelerating corporate ethics through protocol management. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Just like I've said, thank you for joining us today at this Diplomacy and Protocol Summit. My name has been well introduced by Dr. Kunene. It's Mutiu Olawale Tijani, and I'm honored to discuss the important topic of accelerating corporate ethics through protocol management. Okay. In today's globalized and interconnected business landscape, diplomacy and international relations plays a crucial role in shaping organizational success. I believe you would agree with me that in today's world, to have a good organizational success, diplomacy and international relations play a vital role. And one vital aspect is the integration of protocol management to accelerate corporate ethics. Now we would need to understand what do we mean by protocol management. This is just a short one. Okay, protocol management refers to the establishment of guidelines procedures, and code of conduct that govern the behavior and action of individuals within an organization. What do we mean by that? Okay, how do we interconnect protocol management in the context of corporate ethics? So we talked about kind of set of procedure, set of code of conduct, and that governs the behavior or action of an individual in an organization. It provides a structured framework for promoting ethical behavior and upholding corporate values. Okay, where we have a good understanding of protocol management, we get to understand that there is a link between these two and what if we want to achieve an organizational corporate ethics. So as we move on, we get to see in what way these two interrelate and then they connect themselves. So we see the intersection of protocol management, diplomacy, and corporate ethics. When we talk about this, we talk about protocol management, draws inspiration from diplomatic practice, of course, which are centered around effective communication, trust building, and ethical conduct. By incorporating diplomatic principles into corporate ethics, organizations can foster a culture of integrity and responsibility. What do we get to understand by this? Where you have a set of rules that governs what is meant to be done by each employee of an organization. Even without the intervention of the supervisor, you get to realize that each and every one of the employee acts in the best interest of the corporation in an ethical way. Even where there is no supervision or less supervision, there is a set rule that every one of them has got to follow. They get to follow it, and then you just see a kind of synchronization in their behavior, in the way they do things, and you are asking yourself, why? Why is this like this? It is where there is a set rule, a structured rules and code of ethics for them to act and behave, represent the corporation, whichever place to go, they go. And this can really bring about, you will see the benefits of integrating this and this intersection between protocol management, diplomacy, and corporate ethics. We get to see that as we move on. So we get to talk about the key elements of protocol management for corporate ethics. One of the key elements of protocol management is code of conduct, just like I've mentioned. You know, when an organization establishes a comprehensive code of conduct that outlines ethical guidelines and expectations for employees. This is one thing that I mentioned before. This is very paramount and this is very important. And this can be inspired from a protocol perspective. And we can see that by using this in an organization, we get to have a lot of benefits, which we'll see later. Another thing is training and education. Organization has got to provide regular training and education initiatives to enhance employees' understanding of ethical principles and their role in upholding them. You know, here, not by blowing the trumpet of my beloved organization, I will talk about how interestingly we have been going through different trainings from the risk management team and compliance team. So every year we've got a number of list of trainings that we go through. And these trainings, you know, we talk about unbiased way of acting. You know, we talk about ethical, we talk about whistleblowing, you know, all these really help the employee of the organization to really know what to do, at what point, who to report to. It is very paramount for an organization to have a good training initiatives and then training and education. So we move on to communication and transparency. creating open communication channel and promoting transparency to encourage ethical behavior and ensure accountability. It goes without saying that a good communication channel is very, very important. More often than not, what we understand or to notice in an organization that there is no, there is no those button down, you just see a button down communication line. The instruction just come like that. There is no interconnection. What is happening at the bottom is not getting to management at some point. So, and this causes a kind of break in communication. So there has to be a good channel of communication that an organization has got to put in place, getting inspiration from protocol management to really improve a lot of things in the organization. So having the communication and a good communication channel and promoting transparency will definitely encourage ethical behavior and ensure accountability. Another thing we will talk about here on the key elements of protocol management, it's ethical decision-making framework. Equipping employees with tools and resources to make ethical choices, considering international perspectives and cultural sensitivity. At every level of each employee, me as head of protocols in my organization, we deal with third-party vendors. So you get to realize that if you are not ethical, you, as a protocol professional that manages the travels, you manage the flight bookings, you know the hotel reservations, you just see unethical professionals flying to Dubai, flying to you ask yourself, where is that money coming from? Of course, he has leveraged the skill that he alone understands about the nitty-gritty of flight bookings, using Amadeus, using Sabre, all these tools that the travel agents use. He has leveraged that, just like I said, and not being kind, he has leveraged that to do an unethical behavior. And then I remember someone in an organization was sacked because of this, because he would just travel around, but at the end of the day, he was caught. But where there is an ethical decision-making framework, before you go into doing such, that no, this is the no-go area, and this is something that you can find from a protocol management perspective. Because as a protocol officer, we follow rules. You can get inspiration from that to improve the corporate ethics, and this is where there are interconnection between both of them. Without taking too much of your time, I will tell you about the benefit of accelerating corporate ethics through protocol management. What are the benefits? Just have a few there. It enhances reputation. Ethical practice enhances the organization's reputation and attract customers, investors, partners who value integrity. That is something to talk about. Where it goes without saying that where there are good ethical behavior, the reputation of that organization is really, really enhanced. I believe you would agree with me. It is automatic. When you see, with these people, we deal with, when we do meet and greet at the airports, all the things that happen at the airport, some officers will say, no, we know with these people, they don't do this. Without even being told, they say, no, you don't go there. No, you don't go there. They don't do this. That's having, it enhances the reputation of the organization. And in today's business world, the integrity and the reputation of an organization really matters. We are in the reinsurance industry. So you have your ratings by rating agencies. We have, you have rating agencies, and those ratings determines the kind of businesses you have. So if you do not have like A ratings, some organization cannot do business with you. So when your reputation is enhanced, thanks to the protocol management and that has been integrated into your corporate ethics, you believe, you agree with me that it's really a plus for the organization. Another thing here we talk about is increased employee engagement. An ethical work environment fosters employee engagement, satisfaction, and loyalty. Of course, where there are equity, you agree with me, Dr. Kunene and Mr. Feishola, that where there are equity, there are, level of promotion is not a man, no man who employees are very engaged. They are very happy. They put in their best. They put in what they put in their best to support the vision and the objective of the organization. So we can move to risk management. Effective protocol management helps mitigate ethical risks such as fraud, misconduct, and non-compliance, reducing potential harm to the organization. I've made an example on this about this by somebody practicing a fraud because it's not being ethical. Accelerating corporate ethics helps us in managing our risk. So we talk about stakeholders' confidence. It goes without saying, where some investors like to put their money where they know that it is safe. So when they know that there is no corruption in these organizations, the rating agencies are rating that organization very high. Of course, they would be happy to continue to invest in that organization. I would also even like to highlight that there are some organizations that has gotten a set of rules that you do not even go into business with an organization that does not have a certain level of rating. So, so when there is that level of confidence by the rating agency that are giving you like A+, automatically you attract these big organizations, these investors who must work with A rating organizations. Moving forward, I think we are going towards the end. Thank you. So in conclusion, the protocol management serves as a powerful tool for accelerating corporate ethics. By integrating diplomatic principles, organizations can establish ethical guidelines, enhance their reputation, engage employees, mitigate risk, and gain the trust of stakeholders. And then, thank you all for being here today and for your kind attention. I am open to answering any question or engage in future discussion on this important topic. Thank you, Madam. Back to you, Dr.
Wow, wow. Wow, I'm trying to remove your screen share here. You want to stop it?
Yes, please. Yes. Stop sharing. Yes. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Mutio, for such a profound, much needed presentation around the accelerating corporate ethics through protocol management. The way you've just explained it, you started by explaining exactly what do we mean when we refer to etiquette, when we refer to protocol. Really, it's a tool that we all need. It's a tool that we all need in order for us to be able to do business internationally, because this delicate instrument, it's a delicate instrument of foreign policy that will enable any policy making, any policy decision makers that will enable their businesses between global leaders in a universal scope. So thank you so much for sharing such a profound, much needed message. Yeah, because we really need this. We really need this between different societies. We need this between different businesses, really. We need a protocol in everything as a guidance for whatsoever we're doing in within our companies, within our businesses, within different organizations, between governments. We need to have a protocol that will just guide us as we continue to do business. So thank you, sir. Thank you. We are moving to Mr. Feisola Adetunji. Adetunji. I hope I didn't butcher your last name, sir. So Feisola Adetunji is a seasoned international business and diplomatic protocol expert with over not 10, but 13 years of experience in management, protocol, diplomacy, as well as being an executive assistant. He is a skilled entrepreneur, professional interpreter, political strategist, and a consultant with a wealth of experience. He is successfully consulting for corporate bodies, national governments, international personalities, members of the aristocracy, chief executives, and influential politicians on international business, cross-cultural communication, as well as diplomatic protocol. So Feisola's impressive career includes serving as the head of international protocol liaison office of the registrar, chief executive at the National Business and Technical Examinations Board, a parastatal of the federal government of Nigeria. He is currently the lead associate at Crownister International, where he is known for driving client brand growth, maximize corporate operational excellence, and delivering executive performance. He is also a lead inclusion educator at Creative Minds International, ECS in Washington, DC. Feisola holds a double honors bachelor's degree in political science and education, and has earned training qualifications from the prestigious European School of Protocol in London and the Protocol School of Washington in the USA. He is an active member of the Protocol and Diplomacy International, Protocol Office Association, PDI-POA, and other international professional associations. So kings and queens, in the interest of time, please join me and welcome Mr. Feisola Adetunji.
All right, thank you, Doctor. I'm so grateful to be here. I want to commend what you've been doing over time. I mean, I've been a good follower of your program, and I want to say you're doing pretty good. And to the audience, this day we'll be discussing issues relating to protocol and diplomacy precisely. And at the end of this discussion today, feel free to ask questions that you might have. You can send it in the chat box so that at the end of the day, we could take a look at it and then answer appropriately. So I want to say one more time that I'm grateful for this opportunity to make this presentation this morning. I will be talking about protocol and diplomacy in today's globalized world. We all know that generally we have a trend that is coming up, and the trend that we have right now requires us to build capacity and to get ready for the new transformation we're experiencing in the area of diplomacy and protocol. So I know people mix the meaning of protocol and diplomacy up most of the time, but I will use this opportunity to give us brief definitions of those two words, and then I will be able to also give us information about the roles of protocol, the roles of engagement of protocol and diplomacy in our day-to-day activity, our day-to-day life, and then how important they are to our daily doings in our businesses, in our organization, and comparing nations to nations. And then we'll be discussing a lot about this. So I'm going to start by telling us more about diplomacy. They are important because diplomacy and protocol, they are important because they affect our daily lives in many ways. For example, we travel to a foreign country, and then we need to be aware of their customs protocol to avoid offending, offensively doing things, because we do not have the residual knowledge of what the cultures, are all about. So it's very important in diplomacy to realize that we need to understand the customs, which are very critical. Also in business, we need to understand the protocol, for building relationships, with clients and partners. Diplomacy is also crucial in international relations as it helps resolve conflicts and maintain peace between countries. So we see diplomacy requires most of the time what we call negotiations. And these are very critical in doing things. In simple terms, if I want to describe diplomacy, I will say that, like, for example, I used to have a friend, we had this opportunity of attending a program, and then the program was scheduled for 4 p.m. And then I told my friend we will be attending this program and we'll leave at, I want us to get there by 3:15 so that we can get settled and then we can get things going before the commencement of the program. And my friend said, no, we will get there at 3:45. I said 3:15. My friend said 3:45. And then I was like, okay, what can we do? And then he said, I think 3:45 is nice. Then we had to negotiate, we discussed. And at the end of the day, we were able to say, okay, let's leave 3:30. 3:30 is nice. It will help us to, adjust before the program. We'll be settled before the program. And then that really implies that we've been able to negotiate. At the same time, we've been able to create a mutual understanding. And at the same time, we have a common goal, which is to attend the event. So basically, that is just the simple terms that I feel I could explain, the word diplomacy, and then that I feel we will all have a clear understanding of what it is. And, but in an international level, we see diplomacy as something that requires, communal relationship between countries, on a particular common goals. So we know countries are so much, it depends on countries to relate, and in relating with one another, there's going to be a whole lot of agreements, treaties to sign and all that. So we believe that it is important that countries relate, harmoniously, so that they can resolve conflicts easily. They can engage in economic terms, more easily, and then they could also, do a lot of transactions altogether without, having any hitch. So on the other hand, protocol refers to a set of rules and customs that govern behavior in social and official settings. In official settings, such as diplomatic meetings, the protocol is essential to ensure that everyone behaves appropriately and respectfully. So we believe that protocol takes a very strong role in making sure that we have an orderly society. My brother over there just mentioned Matthew mentioned about this and discussed even more about the protocol. But the way I'm going to relate this to us, I'm going to mention it in a social settings. Most of the time during our engagement, it is very pertinent that we realize what others are doing. Especially, we should be considerate of people's culture. We should be considerate of the rules of engagement in most cases. So we've seen that in some of our engagements, we discover that there's been a lot of gafes at which people demonstrate most of the time, and I think this requires meticulous overlook so that we can get this thing done more appropriately. If you agree with me that in performing protocol activities, we have to follow the rules, basically. So I will also be talking about briefly, I'll be moving to the importance of protocol and diplomacy. Like I rightly said, I said protocol and diplomacy are essential in navigating cultural differences and building relationship in today's globalized world. They help promote peace and cooperations. You see, I once had an opportunity of traveling to southern part of Africa, and then in our arrival, the minister that received us mentioned something to us. He said, look outside, can you see something? We said, yeah, we saw a lot of animals walking around. And this is quite unusual from where we're coming from. And then he said, those animals are as important as you are. That we recognize you, we know you're our guest, but at the same time, those animals that you see around are as important as you are. So we felt, okay, now we need to I mean, be more, conscious of our environment and all that. So it takes research most of the time to get to understand culture better. So, and that's why there is an open door, and in this globalized world that has given us the opportunity of, researching more, using tools. We have a lot of digital tools nowadays to use, to be able to research into things, into concepts that we do not understand. If you have the opportunity of traveling to another country or meeting a new person from another background, it's very important for you to research the person and know, oh, what can I do? How do I greet? And then, how do we make sure that I successfully engage in this conversation? So these are critical issues that we all need to keep, learning about, day by day, because we have a globalized world, and then it's important that we integrate ourselves into the new system, the new concepts, that is, very operational nowadays. So I will also say that in international relations, protocol and diplomacy plays a vital role. I once mentioned it in my introduction, like I said, as a cultural understanding and exchange, building bridges requires an appreciation for diverse cultures. Diplomats also should foster cultural understanding through educational exchange programs, cultural diplomacy initiatives, and public diplomacy campaigns. To us, I believe there's been a lot of cultural campaigns going on nowadays, and then sensitivity about how things are doing, especially now we find ourselves, like, I want to use myself as an example in Washington, D.C., like, I'm in the midst of, different people. I had the opportunity of meeting new people almost every day, with diverse backgrounds. So, it's done on me to keep, learning and keep abreasting myself with information as regards their background, understanding the diversity. And at the same time, we have to ensure that it's what we call inclusiveness. We have to include, people in whatever things that we are doing. We don't discriminate, basically. Diplomacy does not really allow that. And then we need to come together and form a common front to achieve a common goal. And that's the essence of diplomacy. And then I want to say categorically that offering a proper greeting is essential in many cultures, like I rightly said. Understanding the seating arrangement or the order of introduction can help to avoid offending someone. I once witnessed a situation whereby a lower ranked officer was introduced before a higher ranked officer, and that caused a lot of commotion during that event. I can remember vividly. I think the higher ranked officer left the scene, staged a walkout, or because he felt disrespectful. So, these are the areas at which we need to put, keen interest in, and then we need to understand and research, so that we don't commit this kind of mistakes in, doing things and all that. That's what we call order of precedence, which is very much important, in diplomacy, also in protocol. These are issues that we need to be concerned about most of the time when we are receiving visitors, even when you are making planning for a meeting in your office. It's important for you to research further to get to know what to do per time. I've had the opportunity of planning a lot of international programs, international engagement for my office. And in doing this, the first thing I do when we have the approval for a particular trip is to sit down and research, so that we can brief, the management and all that, and those that are traveling, what to meet, when they get there. So they are prepared earlier, so they know what to do when they get into the new environments they are going into. So it's very important also to take cognizance of this. At the same time, there are challenges, to protocol and diplomacy. In a globalized world, there are challenges. So in today's globalized world, cultural differences can present challenges to the traditional diplomatic protocols. Understanding cultural customs is key. very key. You know, I once mentioned that we have diversity now that is coming up. You know, we are also advocating for inclusion. And then at this level, you discover that those are key issues and key things that we are advocating for. And we want everyone to be on board so that we can collectively, you know, understand ourselves, you know, engage in a robust relationship, and then, you know, achieve common goals. So those are key issues that I feel we should also know more about. This will take me to the future of protocol and diplomacy. I want to quickly mention to us that the future of protocol and diplomacy will require a new era of adaptability, inclusivity, and cultural intelligence. You know, and like I said, effective communication is key. I mean, we should be able to communicate effectively because that is where we can get a desired result of any of our engagement. I mean, these are key issues that we need to actually look into. When you talk about adaptability, you should be able to adapt to people's, you know, situations. Most of the time, their cultural norms. If you find yourself there, if you find yourself visiting, or even if you find yourself engaging with them, you should be able to be respectful, you know, getting yourself adaptable to what they're doing, you know. And like I said, inclusivity. These are key issues that we also should be looking at. You know, this is the word of inclusion. Everybody has to get on board, regardless of the background, regardless of where you come from, the skin of your, the color of your skin. And then cultural intelligence, very important. You know, we need to keep learning every day. And then I want to say categorically, to bring this down in conclusion, that diplomacy remains a critical tool in today's globalized world. By understanding the changing dynamics of diplomacy, navigating challenges, and active building bridges, we can contribute to the international cooperation, conflict resolution, and sustainable development, you know, which are key issues nowadays. And also, we want to say this, I mean, this is coming from me, international protocol and diplomacy are just about following rules, and not just about following rules and formalities, but also about understanding and respecting different cultures, values, and perspectives. By doing so, we can build bridges of trust and cooperation and work towards a more peaceful and prosperous world. And that has been what we've been looking up. And I think that is what, this forum has always been, you know, working towards also. I want to thank Dr. Okeneme for this great opportunity. And then and I want to say that I'm so grateful for being here. And then I hope this session has provided, you know, valuable insights into the evolving nature of diplomacy and its significance in addressing global challenges. So at this moment, feel free to ask any questions or share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Wow, Mr. Feyisola. Oh my goodness, you've mentioned everything really around protocol and diplomacy in today's globalized world. You've started by sharing with us the navigating into international relations, applying diplomacy and protocol. And you've also highlighted cultural sensitivity, of which it's something that I'm going to cover on cultural intelligence, really. But the way you just went into details, it was so profound. And you've also mentioned like the way the order of precedence works, and you end up introducing like a lower ranking officer instead of that higher ranking officer, how much conflict it can create between these leaders. And the way they're gonna view you, that you are so disorganized, you really don't understand the whole process. Because really diplomacy has kind of advanced from being a system of maneuvering, which used to be like I used like with private dealing before, but now it's no longer that kind of private. It becomes like a system that we can use in the Republic. So it depends mainly on a dialogue. Depends mainly on a dialogue to make effective two-way dialogues and negotiations the way you've explained it. So I believe it's high time we acquire that knowledge, those skills that are needed around protocol, diplomacy, really, because this world is changing from that kind of, you know, private world into something that we are all are open to. I remember myself growing up, I used to watch diplomats. I'm like, I so wish I can be in those feet until I was like assisting those diplomats. So it can be anyone's dream to be in that field, really, because we are moving from being so private to a more globalized world these days. So thank you so much, Feyisola, for sharing such a profound, much needed message. Thank you. So to our audience, to our audience online, please feel free, if you happen to have any questions for Feyisola, if you happen to have any questions for me too, please just drop the questions in the chat box. We're going to come back and attend to your questions toward the end of the podcast. But if you're going to be posting questions around courtesy calls, that's something I'm still going to cover. Setting plans as well as mindset of diplomacy, I'm going to cover that one. If you have questions around that area, as well as on cultural intelligence. But if you happen to have any questions so far with these amazing speakers, please drop your questions and we're going to attend to your questions at the end of the podcast. So it's not going to be a show without me showing up. So I'm going to be the typical speaker. Before I speak, just share my bio and then I'll come back and speak. So please enjoy. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. Really, my goal as a mentor or as a coach is so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to pursue success and drive sustainable. I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights.
Dr. Nampumelelo Rial Kunene is an international human rights policy analyst who consults on policies and procedures related to human rights compliance. She is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Lace Brown international speaker. This passionate leader holds a PhD with a discipline in leadership and business. Dr. Rial N. Kunene is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. She is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes. In a seriously funny way, Dr. Kunene is an award-winning author, 10 times #1 Amazon and international best-selling author. Her #1 best-selling book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. As a trainer, diplomacy protocol officer, and strategist, Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. She is also a true advocate for creating new policies that uphold human rights and prevent human rights violations. Dr. Kunene's purpose is to teach everyone about human rights and help organizations understand and promote human rights. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. This change maker, trailblazer, and revolutionary is pushing boundaries and creating a real change worldwide. Like a phoenix that never accepted defeat and rose from its own ashes, she wants to challenge you to unleash your greatness and rise to greater heights. Dr. Rial N. Kunene wears many hats. As a professional certified sales manager, CEO, certified travel counselor, publisher, medical aesthetician, philanthropist, and a commissioner for oaths, following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalms 27 and 40 keeps her to rise to greater heights. The sky is no longer the limit, but now the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Dr. Rial Nkunene.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Feyisola. Thank you so much, Mutu, for sharing such profound, much needed message around diplomacy as well as protocol. Mutu, you've mentioned that everything on how we can actually do in order for us to accelerate corporate ethics through protocol management. And Mr. Feyisola on the other side, he was like, you'll have to know all these, mainly in this globalized world. We'll have to learn about protocol and diplomacy in today's globalized world. So what I'm going to be sharing with you, I'm really going to share more nuggets around diplomacy as well as protocol, but I'm going to be covering such as protocol, it covers the internet. I'm going to cover seating plans. I'm going to cover cultural intelligence, just for you to know, good people. You know, if you've been inspired by all these amazing speakers, I just want you to drop like a 5, or maybe give me a high 5 on the chat box so that I can see that we are all in same accord. Because, you know, when we speak of diplomacy is a skill that plays an essential role in many areas of our lives, really, with a generous amount of patience to be able to work towards understanding others' views. So protocol is also as significant as diplomacy, because protocol is a significant part of diplomatic practice, really, to ensuring that roles are being directed according to official societal laws. So I believe that the study of diplomacy, really, it belongs to everyone. It doesn't just belong to individuals who are maybe interested in political science, for example, maybe those who are interested in social sciences. It belongs to everyone without any maybe prior knowledge and experience in international relations. So go out there. If you just want to explore this journey together with us, just go out there, good people. You really don't have to see the whole staircase in life to get to the top. Like I always say, my mentor always say that you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great in life. So get started today. Get more knowledge around protocol. What kind of protocol is required in that position that you are holding, in performing those skills that you are holding. Just get familiar with whatsoever is needed. So yes, I also wrote a book, by the way. So this book will also benefit like executives for them to acquire the fundamentals of etiquette and gain the advantage in all their international as well as their local events that they are hosting. So what do we mean when we say internet protocol? Does internet has to have a protocol? Of course, because the term etiquette in the computer communication intelligence, it was implemented for its practice in diplomatic reports with the advances in social platforms, as well as the trend of citizen participation in both inside as well as outside dealings. So the internet has heightened that requirement to take a closer look at how communications technologies can benefit national welfares and how it's endlessly being formed by economic as well as social variations. So yeah, go out there and get more information. I'm not gonna share more nuggets on the internet protocol, but my book will share all the details. So when we refer courtesy calls, they are being practiced by diplomats. They are also being practiced by business owners, because diplomacy courtesy are central to successful international relations, because a courtesy call is a call that is made out of politeness, in which maybe a diplomat visit another head of state out of their courteousness to meet and briefly discuss about maybe important or maybe concerning matters. So they'll have to make that call out of politeness. So in most businesses, a courtesy call is the procedure of making phone calls to appreciate maybe your clients for their support with kind of a robust importance on decent, obliging communication that can shape out of a place of admiration for the small business. So you give your call, you give a call to your clients just to appreciate, thank you for being that supportive client. Each and every time you always show up, just give that call, because courtesy calls really, the purpose of courtesy calls is to reinforce like high value relationships, and it can also enhance the value of customers' experience. So in that way, you will get to know what your customers are experiencing with whatsoever service or product that you deliver to them. However, it is also vital that a courtesy call is made the right way, because you might think that you're doing it the right way until you know the right way. So I'd encourage everyone out there, all of our audience, to practice a courtesy call in order for you to encourage criticism as well as to reinforce your customer relations. So go out there and reach out to your clients. Reach out to your clients, because in the interest of time, really, I'm not going to be able to cover everything into detail. So it's a wake-up call, good people. It's a wake-up call to go out there and be the change, to go out there and be the voice, and go out there and reach to your supporters, so that in that way you grow your business through what your clients really want, not what you think your clients want. So it's a wake-up call. But when that alarm clock goes off, please, 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 please don't ever hit the snooze button. I know what I'm talking about here. Don't be like, I will wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up, get going, and also improve on your cultural intelligence? When we say cultural intelligence or cultural quotient, it's an important fragment of kind of setting yourself apart in today's developed society of robotics. Like we've seen, you go to a grocery shop, everything now you can just self-check and do this and do that. It's because this society that we live in now is kind of programmed by robotics, but we still need to upgrade our cultural intelligence. As globalization has rendered the corporate setting more multifaceted now, this has unlocked many, many more new opportunities out there. So cultural intelligence is the capacity to function well in a diverse social background. So you're gonna be able to relate to different backgrounds without actually interfering into their lives. But you understand now that, oh, my coworker, she's from South Korea, but this is how I'm going to approach her, because we are so different. So people with high CQ, as they say, they aren't specialists in every kind of heritage, maybe every kind of culture, and cultural differences aren't just about the race, maybe civilization, or maybe ideology. So internally, with cultural intelligence, you will know how to deliberately use cultural diversity, which can help teams in all levels in your organization to better understand each other, and in turn come up with more groundbreaking results, because we understand, we can relate to one another. The way Mutiu was, he mentioned emotional intelligence. Just put yourself in those shoes, put yourself in those shoes of your co-workers, so that you will understand when they're being upset, when they are happy, when they are excited about maybe a new project in your company. So apply all those skills. Kings and queens, without any further ado, you cannot give from an empty cup. So as we are talking about cultural intelligence, you cannot give it from an empty cup where you didn't fuel yourself and now you decide like you want to share with the world. Fill your cup first, and then from the overflow, then you're going to be able to share with the world. The more knowledge that you get around cultural intelligence, then you're going to be able to apply it to yourself, and then you're going to be able to relate to your coworkers, because cultural intelligence, it prepares you to work competently and respectfully with colleagues of diverse backgrounds. So it will allow them to accomplish their goals in doing business with you, as well as classifying the influence of particular ethos. So go out there and apply those skills. One thing that we need to be aware of is that, you know, culture is invisible in yourself. Trust me, it's invisible in yourself. So let's aim to avoid generalizations grounded on any single aspect, because what's normal to us today, it might not be normal to someone from Nigeria. I'm from Swaziland. I'm from Canada. It might not be normal to anyone in a different continent. So let's try to avoid generalization, which will cause a disconnect with the reality of what this universal business has in plan. So if you can write it down, seeding plans. Yes, if we talk of seeding plans, really, we are talking I'm going to approach it in a way where you are just entertaining, like VIPs, for example, because formal entertaining, it includes a variety of representational events, and the seating at the formal dinners is somehow but not always the same as the informal one. So when entertaining like dignitaries, for example, a seating plan is so important to avoid those awkward moments where dignitaries will be scrambling to seats at the table. Like Mr. Feisola was mentioning that the other high-ranking official has to leave because it wasn't the order of precedence, it wasn't applied in the right way in that event. So in most United Nations events, really, the seating order, it follows the English alphabetical order of the country's names, as in the order of the flag. Like if you look at the way the flags are being displayed outside the headquarters in New York, that's how the seating plans should also apply when it comes to entertaining VIPs or maybe dealing with dignitaries, because guests may be seated according to a seating plan that you have prepared. You yourself as the host, you'll have to prepare the seating plan in advance, and you are responsible for keeping everyone relatively happy with each other, and try to avoid friction as much as possible. I know some event hosts, they might sit, when it comes to politics, they might sit someone who doesn't see eye for an eye with the next person who is sitting next to them. And this will stir fight, trust me, this will stir fight. So you'll have to kind of have an idea about the seating plan for your event. When we speak of mindset of diplomacy, I've also covered it in my book. So in my book, you'll be able to discover like the guidelines of international courtesy and gain everyday understanding into delicate connections that will advance your knowledge in diplomatic as well as official protocols necessary to host successful visits as well as events. Because if you lack a clear understanding on the realities of diplomatic etiquette, really, it will make you not get a better awareness of diverse conducts to support your organization. So go out there and apply the knowledge that all these amazing speakers have already shared, and they're still gonna share how they can work with you, how you can reach out to them. If they have any freebie that they just wanna offer you, they're still gonna share with you, because all these philosophies, they shape our regulations, and it delivers a set of reputable rules of courteousness that are to be respected in our society. So go out there, good people, and gain more knowledge. As flight attendants always say that, put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others, because if you don't, you and the other person you're trying to help, really, when that flight goes down, you will definitely go down. So put on that oxygen mask first to yourself before you try to assist your neighbor, because you'll have to gain this knowledge. You'll have to be the one with all this knowledge so that you can share with the world, because the reality is your journey to be a better person, it doesn't start with your spouse, it doesn't start with your neighbor, but it starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core, it will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. So don't ever, ever give up on your heart's desires. Just, recall this, just in case you can't find a way. You can have the drive within you to become what you really want in life. The drive is just inside of you. It's not from the outside of you. So get that drive and get going. Get that drive and get going. You know, it's so funny. Let me just drink one. It's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know many, when they try to say my name, they always butcher my name, but Nompumelelo really, Nompumelelo in my own language, it means mother of all success. So you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success. No matter what comes my way, I'll have to chase after success. So if I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve? Maybe let me say in the next 6 months. I know myself, I am one of those. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on a professional development. So as a coach or as a mentor, like many of us here, really, my goal is so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired actions to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. You know, I so wish you can just tell yourself that, you know what, I've had enough. All these amazing speakers have shared more nuggets around protocol. They've shared more nuggets around diplomacy, as well as protocol and international relations. So now the goal is just you to, you know, to apply every nugget that has been shared here into your own life. But in order for you to make that difference, to be the change, to apply all those nuggets into your life, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. Really, that hungry lion in the jungle, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes his way. It doesn't matter if you're that giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. It's so funny though, because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what, I am a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see a lion, I'll have to run. I believe that's the lion mindset that we need in order for us, you know, to apply all these skills that have been shared today. You know, it's so funny. When I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I'm just going to cut this story short. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. Really, that English teacher, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me, and it also aligns with my destiny. So for those of you who don't know the phoenix bird, the phoenix is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. So I just want to encourage you, if you're watching and listening under my voice, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars to show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes, since the phoenix has to die, burn, and experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please write this down in conclusion. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. And I know you've heard this before, that your setback is your setup for your comeback. Your setback is your setup for your comeback. So if I can be honest with you, I don't know what goals you've set for the next 6 months. I don't know what dreams you have for your own future, but here's one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence, and those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. Your objective is what you were designed for, and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gift and following God's idea, it will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, and what books will die with you? And the late Dr. Miles Monroe continues saying that the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the goals, all the visions, all the skills, all the talents have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me really listening to all these amazing messages, that was when, you know, I decided to follow my own dreams, which gave me purpose to see my goals through and understand that I do have everything around me to reach to my full potential. So this year, I'm so determined to rise to greater heights with as many motivated professionals as much as I can. Those who just want to start, grow, and scale their businesses. Maybe you want to write your #1 bestseller book within 90 days. Trust me, I want to rise to greater heights with you. So I offer a free, no obligation consultation Zoom call whereby we're going to sit down and see if you're going to be a perfect fit for my program. So go out there on my website, www.risetogreaterheights.com, and book that call, book that consultation call, because I really want to empower you to become a highly effective and an inspiring leader with kind of a personalized, measurable, but a scalable program. So book that call now, because I believe that, you know, it's high time we pay it forward. So the more knowledge that we acquired before we started our businesses, we can share the knowledge right now. We don't want you to keep on repeating the same mistakes that we've repeated when we started our own businesses. So go out there and book that call, because you know what, it's high time we give it back to the community. I just want us to take it one step at a time. And if you tell me your why, I will show you the how. We're going to take it one day at a time so that you transform. Trust me, you're going to transform from this. So free consultation call, just book that call with me. Because growing up, I didn't have much in life because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. And I thank God that I missed that flight, because I'm still here. I'm still sharing my message. I'm still impacting as many lives as I can, because I have everything because of my mama's love. And I love you, love you, love you, love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Gunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you so much, our amazing speakers. So at this moment, thank you so much. At this moment, please feel free to share your final thoughts with the audience and share how the audience can reach out to you, how they can work with you, and as well as sharing your final thoughts on the subject for today, diplomacy as well as protocol. So Mr. Mutio, the stage is yours, sir.
Thank you very, very much for this great opportunity, Dr. Gunene. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity to share my experiences and my keynotes. Also, it's a great pleasure having Mr. Feishola also giving us insight on protocol and diplomacy. As a final note, my goal in the next few months is to take my family to the next level. Okay, you know, at some point in life, you don't only think about yourself again. It's not all about you again. You know, you look at the opportunities you have and you ask yourself, is it something that is it something that you can be sure that your loved one also can have such opportunities? So you think globally, you think a bit wider. So in the next few months, got great plans for them, and I hope it's come into fulfillment. And I believe the sky is just a starting point. So to reach me, it's just straightforward. Tijani Mutiu Olawale. It's my name on LinkedIn. I'm active more on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook as well, and then on Twitter with the same name, Tijani Mutiu Olawale. Okay, for any question about corporate travels, about multilingual event planning, when you have an event that you need interpreters to intervene, you have a diverse audience that you would want that event, either virtual, hybrid, need interpreters into French, into Portuguese. You can get in touch with me. I can assist with that. You've got great events that you need airport protocols and all, can be contacted. So my email, easy one, is info@fsnlink.com. info@fsnlink.com. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Mutio. I'm looking forward to see you taking your family to greater heights, because the more we evolve, everyone around us will also evolve. So thank you so much. And I believe our audience will reach out to you, because they need someone who is as knowledgeable as you are to hold them hand by hand and hold them accountable. So thank you, Mr. Mutio. You can go ahead, Mr. Faisal, and share with the audience, please.
All right, one more time, I want to appreciate you for this platform. And I want to say that this is a great platform that you've created. And you just mentioned to us now how, you're inspired to do this. I think this is really, going places. And then I want to appreciate you for following your heart to do this. And then to my brother who has given, a very wonderful presentation today. I mean, I just want you to tell me wherever you're going, okay? So that I can follow you. All right. So like I've rightly said, my name is Faisal Adetunji, and then I'm international business and diplomatic protocol consultant. I'm based in Washington, D.C. And then I also involved in cross-cultural communications and then interpretation, especially in our own local language. I have 2 languages that I'm working on right here. That is Yoruba language and then West African Pidgin. That's what we call it here. So, and basically we are into translations and then, interpretations and all that. And we have an organization established in Maryland and USA, where I called Quanest International, and then we have a team of consultants, who try to interact, in this outlined areas at which we are working. So I would like to, welcome you, to really liaise with us, collaborate with us, on issues of cross-cultural communication, translation and interpretation, leadership development, special event planning, inclusion, education, political strategy and campaign execution. Those are key areas at which we work, So our primary focus is helping, diverse individuals and organizations unlock their full potential and achieve remarkable success on the global stage. So based on the previous experience I've had, working with a whole lot of people, government officials, private individuals. So, I've come to realization that it's important that, we help, and we support, the community, especially our community that we are into. So I am engaging a lot of advocacy now, to make sure that, our community is well represented, when I say our community, I mean our people from our back, that comes from our areas, they need to be informed, they need necessary support, they need to be catered for, because most of the time we realize that information is key, and communication matters also. So we are putting ourselves on ground just, for collaboration, for partnership, we are open to that. And I want to thank you one more time for this privilege. Thank you, Doctor.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Faisal. We'll see you in July. I'm so excited about that, to finally meet you in person. Thank you so much. I believe our audience really, they're going to reach out to you. They just need someone to train them on all what you've shared, what you do with your business. I believe you are doing an amazing job to change the world, to impact many lives as much as you can, from the skills that you've acquired, the education, the knowledge that you have. Now you are sharing with the world. what a privilege to be in your presence today. So go out there, good people, and reach out to Mr. Feyisola, because you need all this knowledge. You need all this wisdom from wise leaders like him. So go out there. And thank you so much, Mr. Feyisola. Thank you so much, Mr. Mutio, for just being with us here at Rise to Greater Heights Network. Really, your presence in this platform, we're not taking it for granted. I know you had to spare. I remember when I was talking to you, Mr. Feyisola, yesterday, you were like, you'll have to squeeze in because you have other agendas ahead of you. So I appreciate both of your time. I know how busy both of you are, but because you've decided to spare the 90 minutes to be with us here, we don't take it for granted. So thank you so much to both of you. And to our audience online, thank you so much for joining us here at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I hope from all these amazing messages, from all these amazing speakers, you've been inspired, you've been motivated, and you are ready to rise to greater heights. So do join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Sia Bonga.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as